tonight's guest on Guest 2, singer-songwriter from Coleman, Alabama. If you've been in any bars around or any surrounding areas, listening to live music, you've probably heard him. Everybody welcome Jesse Priest.
Hey man.
How are you?
Good, dude.
Dude, I'm glad you're here, man.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
I am too, man. That's what, so like you're always playing places and stuff. Where's your favorite place?
Well, my favorite place to play, summertime wise, would have to be Crawl Mamas.
See, I love Crawl Mamas.
It gets wild in there. We have a good time. But like, during this season, rainy season, winter time, probably Grumpy's or Valley Tavern. Yeah, up there.
Oh yeah, the Valley Tavern. You bowl in that one?
Oh yeah.
You ever bowl?
No, I never get a chance to bowl. But I'm always playing there.
You go for a while too, don't you?
Yeah, it's normally about 4 hours.
Golly, dude. How many breaks?
A lot of people take like a few 15-minute breaks, so it kind of evens out to a 3-hour show in the long run. But I don't take any break. You
don't? You just keep playing?
I'll stop and put a pinch of snuff in and keep going.
So you're singing while you got a pinch of snuff too?
Oh yeah.
See, that's what's David Grohl?
Yeah.
Always chewing bubble gum.
Oh yeah.
I always thought that was kind of fascinating. I don't know what his favorite flavor is, but yeah.
He got some big league chewers.
Yeah, he does. I actually went to their concert in Birmingham. Man, that was so much fun, dude.
Oh, I bet.
They played for we actually thought the show was over. He ends up going backstage and he come back out and he played like another hour. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning before we got out of there.
Yeah.
And
so I like artists like that.
I do too, man. They're gonna put the time in and stuff like that. So we when did you actually start playing?
I was 12 when I first started.
Really?
Yeah. My parents before that had bought me a drum set because I kind of wanted to do that. I thought, but no, I took the guitar like Calicut, man. I let loose on it. So
yeah, like on guitars. What's your favorite one?
My own? I own 22 guitars.
22 guitars.
And none of them are cheap.
Oh yeah, no, guitars are not.
I have one that's cheap, and it's a Rebel Flag guitar. And the only reason I bought it is because you'll never be able to buy another Rebel Flag guitar. So one day it'll probably be worth, a ton, because you just can't buy them.
No, that's what.
But one of my favorites, man, I have a Taylor. That's the one that, if you see me out playing, it's probably the one I'm going to be playing. That, or I just bought a new Gretsch, and it's
see, I've never heard of them actually.
Gretsch is killer, man. It's a wild machine. But between those two, and then my favorite shape in all time, the one I got when I was 14 years old, is a Fender Telecaster.
Oh yeah,
I love Telecasters, and I just like that shape. Most people Les Paul or so I'm like
Les Pauls are heavy.
Yeah.
They're bad heavy, dude.
And they're not any good anymore.
They're not.
I don't
like a Walmart brand.
Yeah. No, they're still high, but like the ones I want are like 1960 models or 70s.
Yeah, the older
like
ones.
15 grand. So I don't have any of those.
I actually had a Steve Ibanez.
Oh yeah.
Had the vinyl life up it, and I had the
hand grip thing.
They call that thing monkey grip. Is that right?
Something like
monkey
that.
grip.
I forget.
But it had like that Floyd Rose stuff on it.
Yeah.
Every time I would use the whammy bar, it was out of tune.
Yeah.
You go from sound like AC/DC to sound like straight shit, dude.
And people love Floyd Rose stuff, and I can't get with it.
I'd rather have
I can't get with it.
a guitar that ain't got all those extras. You gotta have an Allen wrench to tune that thing,
Yeah.
I ended up trading it for a rifle. Actually, it went back to the owner that previously had it 30 years ago. Yeah, pretty cool.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is. So on your band members, everybody kind of local?
Well, so I was telling you before we ever started about the opportunity that I've got to work with a new management company and label and all. And they kind of came to me, and the original Jesse Priest music guys were me, Aaron Chandler, he lives out Hugh-Lake-ish, just right down the road.
Yeah.
And then CJ McAnally. So he was our drummer. So it was just us three, and we bass players. We fought with them for
really
months and months and months trying to solidify one. And
yeah.
it was just always easier for us three to get together. And if you got a good enough drummer, you know, you can make it work.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And but then I got this new opportunity dealt with me, and so now it's me, Zane Emerson, and Daniel Harbison is my bass player.
Okay.
And then we're on the market for a drummer.
Drummers was always hard to find, I feel like, you know.
We're using my producer, David Vest, right now, where he's agreed to come off the bench and play when we get some of these larger scale out west gigs and stuff.
Drummers, I feel like I used to play in a band a long time ago. I'm not. We only played regular stuff, so that's what I've been so excited about you coming on, because I'm like, we can get to talk music, man. It's like, but back in the day, dude, if you lost a drummer, man, it seemed like it took forever to find one. You know, I don't know if you're listening to this, you're not want to buy your kids a drum set. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
So on like let's talk about the biggest accomplishment. And I already know.
You already know.
I already know.
Oh,
Jolene.
Oh yeah, Jolene Challenge.
That may not even be your biggest accomplishment.
Man, it could have been. I'll say that it could have really been.
Was that a Netflix? That was a Netflix.
Yeah, it was a Netflix exclusive. It was right before COVID.
Yeah.
And so like we were sitting around, and my buddy Shannon. I mean, everybody loves Dolly Parton.
Oh yeah.
And he was sitting there, and what's the girl that played Jolene in that little film? I forgot what her name was. I'm not really great with actors' names.
I'm not either.
But anywho, that girl had posted a video with Dolly Parton saying they were going to do a Jolene challenge. You know, let's hear your rendition of Jolene, and we might use it on our upcoming series or whatever. And so, man, I was, I think we had 3 days before to finish entering the competition or whatever. So me and him and I was in my kitchen and I was trying to figure it out, and I was like, well, that sounded pretty good. And then it was funny, my mom, because like in the background when it got quiet, you hear my buddy go, and she's like, first off, we gotta get rid of Darth Vader. I'm like, we can't have him in the background. So he goes to church in Coleman at I think it's the Episcopal church. They're like right over there, kind of off to the Catholic church.
Yeah.
So
now you sang that in the church, right?
Yeah. Their preacher gave me permission to sing in the church. And I was like, cool. So I changed the words up, kind of be from a male perspective, and we did all that, and I just posted it. And so I was at home one morning doing the dishes, and because I do music for a living, my phone number is on like my website. It's no longer there.
Oh yeah, I know, you get blown up.
Yeah, but I think because I put it on there, I would get so many spam calls.
Oh yeah.
And this woman called and was like, "Hi, is Jesse Priest there?" And I was like, "No, he died." Like, cause that's my go-to. That's my go-to. You know, he's dead. And they're like, "What?" Well, I'm with Netflix, and I'm like, "Oh God!" Like, you know,
back up.
I wasn't even gonna answer it. Like, and it was kind of like a God thing telling me, cause I'm soapy hand. Like, I was hand washing some dishes, so I dry my hands off, and I'm like, "Wow." And then I answered it, and then I was like, "Look, I'm so sorry." I was just totally kidding us. I get so many spam calls. You're lucky I even answered your phone call. And she's like, that's what I kept getting all day. Because, like, it wasn't just me that won it or whatever. They actually took a bunch of videos from tons of different people that had did it on, like, TikTok and Instagram. And
Oh, they ain't no telling us how many participants there was.
And,
something like that.
So, but they called me and wanted me, they had to send me over a contract thing where I signed over that it was now their video to use, you know.
Right.
And they can, you know, I mean, 10 years from now, they could reuse that video if they want to, because I had to sign that over too.
It's still cool though.
But they wound up making a little short, like, I'm talking about 60-second Instagram video with all the participants that they deemed worthy, I guess.
Yeah.
And just shoot, that was it. And then she's like, we'll be in contact about some other things, and then COVID happened. And then I heard nothing else.
Really?
Yeah.
So it just died right there?
It just died right there. But I think it was because nobody knew anything about what was going on in the world anymore. And
Everybody was scared and stuff. Like it was.
Everybody's scared. And to clear there, I did not have COVID. I had pneumonia. I think it was viral pneumonia. So about
Pneumonia and the flu stuff is bad as COVID, dude. I mean,
it was right there around the first of the year, like right after the Dolly Parton thing. Like January rolled around, and like February, and I got real sick, and I felt like I was getting better. And then, man, all of a sudden, like I just so winded and couldn't like walk from here to the couch over there.
COVID got
and,
a lot of that. Yeah.
It was, but they
But
swabbed me. Yeah, like I was quarantined in the hospital for 8 days because they would come in there with masks and gloves. And,
oh, it looked like somebody was fixing
and I was
on
in
the moon. Yeah.
like I didn't even know Coleman Hospital had like oxygenated rooms, but like we're like. You know, it's
really?
Like, so, yeah.
So it was not only the mask or whatever.
Right, yeah, they were wearing masks, full safety.
Was you wearing like the oxygen
No,
thing, or was it just all?
I was just in there,
Wow.
just hanging out. And now they did
no
put me on
visitors?
some oxygen. No, God, no. You couldn't have any visitors. This is back. They were still making people throw away their belongings that they brought into the hospital with them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're like, you want to bring your guitar? I'm like, hell no. I'm like,
you ain't throwing my guitar.
you go buy one from Walmart maybe, but no, you're throwing away my Taylor. And like, it was just wild. And luckily, like when it happened, my cousin Josh, his wife, is a respiratory therapist at Children's Hospital. So she come over and checked my oxygen and all that. She's like, your oxygen's like 75 and dropping.
It's supposed to be above 90, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, so you're either going to the hospital willingly or I'm calling an ambulance. You know, I was like, okay, I'll go. So we go, and they take me in there. They had to wheel me in a wheelchair, man. Like literally, I could not do anything. And they did the flu test. They did the COVID test, and that's back when they like stuck that thing in there and ran your brain.
Yeah.
I'm like, they touched my doorbell and got it back there.
$2
Yeah. And so seriously, and then I don't know. They put me in that room, and I didn't see anybody but nurses. Like, and I only seen them when they had to come in there. And then like they called me on the phone one night from the front desk, and they were like, "Hey, can you sing Jolene?" And I'm in here like with oxygen on, and I'm like, "I'll try."
If I die, I'll sing it.
So I sang it for them, but they were real great.
They are not.
They were real good to me, and
my grandmother was in Coleman not long ago at the Mercy Room, and I ain't gonna lie to you, dude. I felt like that was like they were ready to go to war, like they were gonna get her fixed. That was the last thing they'd done. We even had one nurse come back in and I think her shift had ended or whatever. It's like, I just want to check on her again. I really do like Coleman Hospital.
Oh yeah, they took damn good care of me. Couldn't ask for, better staff to take care of me.
Yeah.
But I was in the hospital for 2 weeks.
Talking about scary times, man, like back with the COVID and stuff, those nurses going into work every day. You know what I mean?
For real.
I mean, it was like, my gosh, these people are on the front lines. Like it was, COVID was very scary. And then like me, had it twice, wouldn't have known I had it if my wife wouldn't have tested positive.
Right. Oh, yeah.
It's strange how each person, how it works because
literally after I had pneumonia, man, I've gotten it like 5 or 6 times now.
Really? Since then?
Well, because I'm out in the public.
Well, yeah, you are. You're always
all the
playing
time.
stuff. Yeah. You better quit catching them bras and get thrown that.
Yeah, I know. Man, it's just crazy. So I've had it since then, and I've not had pneumonia, but I've had COVID, and I'm not downplaying it by no means because I think it affects every person.
Oh yeah, it does.
I mean, I've lost friends, and that's a whole topic we could just sink into.
Oh yeah, we could sit here and talk about it right now.
But I feel they beat that dog to death.
Yeah, they have. It's a man nowadays too, like the vaccine stuff, like they're.
Oh God, yeah.
We were talking about this the other day about people just dying suddenly. They had the vaccine. Did you get vaccinated?
Mm.
See, I did. So I'm liable to croak over right here.
Oh no.
If I do, just be like,
finish the
that guy was
podcast.
crazy. Yeah, just make sure you end it. Just make sure you end it.
Next week on our guest, I don't know who we're gonna have yet.
It's like I only feel responsible. I'm gonna take care of him. I'm gonna make sure his show goes on.
The show must go on.
Man, my second guest, and dude, I want to talk about this album.
Yeah.
This is awesome, by the way. You brought me this. This is Alabama Bloodline.
Oh man, that's actually the composition of 4.
4 albums in one.
Yeah.
See Through, Jesse Priest Music, Cheating Town, Alabama Bloodline. This is.
That was Poison of the Soul. That's actually a single we did.
Poison of the Soul. But look at that artwork.
My little brother did all that.
Yeah,
He's a killer, man.
That's freaking awesome, dude. It's gonna go right over there. But he also brought me a moonshine jar. And that's the Alabama Bloodline. It's on the front of it. And you can find those in Tennessee, right?
Yeah. I have a sponsor in Red Bowling Springs, Tennessee. It's right on the Kentucky line, and it's called Roaring River Distillery. And they have Jesse Priest Moonshine. They have it's called the Alabama Bloodline. It's a strawberry moonshine.
How many people you know that's got their own moonshine line?
Not a lot.
You're the first, dude. I'm telling you right now, yeah.
Not a lot that I know.
No, it's like, that's freaking awesome.
It's killer, man. It's been selling like hotcakes. Like, people really enjoy the flavor. Even, if you're just wanting to dabble, like, so what were we talking about earlier? The moonshine over at
Old Smoky.
Old Smoky.
Yeah,
See, that's
Old
not
Smoky.
even real moonshine.
Right.
Yeah, this is the first legal distilled moonshine in Tennessee.
It's awesome.
So that's kind of their claim to fame.
Yeah.
Is that it's real moonshine straight from a still.
If I had my own moonshine company, dude, I'd be taking people up there each way. I'd buy me like one of those old carts vans.
Yeah, they take tours up there.
Come on, y'all.
Oh man, it's cool. They do a whole tour. They do a taste test. Like they got everything. Like the pickles.
Oh man, the pickles.
People love
best,
the pickles. Dude. I think they got peach, green apple. They got the strawberry now.
Let's just end the contest and go,
man. Yeah, right. We did take about 4 hours to get there from here, but they'd open up, man.
Yeah.
They'd let us in. I know
the owners. I'm a Jesse Priest.
Yeah. We come to get us a few jars.
No lie though, I didn't want to go with you.
Yeah, man.
I want to go up there and do that taste.
I've got to go. I've got to go back and get some more to bring home.
I really do. I want to go bad.
So if you guys are interested, you can hit me up on Facebook or
And that is,
Instagram.
you got on Facebook, you got Jesse Priest, but you also got Jesse Priest Music.
Yeah, Jesse Priest Music. Instagram's Jesse Priest Music. Twitter, I had to get a new one of those.
Okay.
Jesse Priest Music.
So Elon let you on.
Yeah. I'm glad.
I know you're a Democrat.
Yeah.
Not really.
Totally. I'm so red-blooded, my moonshine's red.
That's right.
So, but yeah, no, funny thing about Twitter, man, I had like 15,000 followers a couple years ago. And I got hacked. And I got hacked so bad that it disbanded my account. And I couldn't get it back, no matter what I did. So, of course, I had to, I was like, I'm done with Twitter. Because it got hacked 3 or 4 times.
Oh, wow.
And that last
now,
time,
Twitter's only, do you do video? I'm not on Twitter.
you can do everything on there.
You can,
Kinda
so
like
it's basically like Facebook or
yeah,
one of
it's
those.
the same thing. And people say that it's like dying out, but I don't know. I think since Elon got it, more people's joined and a bunch more jump ship.
I think he's going to open it up on the, he don't want it really where they're screening so much of knocking Republican stuff out. Yeah, I think it's a good deal, actually.
Yeah, I think
Freedom of speech should be.
definitely. That's what, like, you know, I tend to stay away in my industry. I stay away from politics. Most people say you're supposed to stay away from religion and politics. I'm a Christian through and through. I don't care who knows. You know, I might be burning beside you one day, but I will proclaim that I am a God-fearing, believing human being.
I hadn't met.
But politics, eat your heart out, because I ain't going to tell you nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like where you're at, for sure.
You can't. And then, you know, even, we'll clear the air too about the whole Coleman comes out. Like, man, we're going to talk about that too. They had hit me up and asked me to do it. Man, I will play, this is a joke I tell at shows. I say at the end of the night, I'm like, my name's Jesse Priest, part of Jesse Priest Music. I play birthdays, quinceañeras, christenings, whatever you want, I'll play at it.
Right.
You know, just hit me up on Facebook. You pay me, I'm gonna come play.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you're doing for a living. I mean, yeah.
And that was the case, you know. I'm friends with a lot of those folks that were going to the Coleman Comes Out thing, and, you know, everybody's like, started getting messages, people were like, I'm so proud of you for backing out of that, and I'm like, well, okay. So I even had to make a video. I was getting so much
Oh, yeah, I guarantee
from both sides, and I said, look, man, fact of the matter is, I was playing at Moe's Barbecue that night regardless. I'd already had that booked, and we moved the time up. Well, I cannot play in 2 places at once, because it started, I think it started at 6, and I was supposed to start at Moe's at 6:30. There was no way to go from there and just all of a sudden just start up at Moe's.
Right, yeah, no, you can,
Yeah.
it takes 20 minutes to break down equipment easily.
Right, which I think they had everything, so it'd been plug and play, but still leaves me no time to set up and play a paying gig, you know. And so that's why, you know, I talked to Gilly and all of them, and everybody's like, man, that's awesome, you know, whatever. We totally understand. They were very understanding, and they had a hell of a turnout. I think they had like 260 people there.
Oh, wow.
So regardless of me being there or not, they still had it.
It still went on, the show went on.
The show went on.
But you got to think about, too, how much do you play at Moe's versus this one event?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, well, I play Moses almost by every other month.
Right, so, I mean, you got to like...
And I don't play a whole lot in Coleman. So, you know, when I get a Coleman gig, I try to keep the main focus over Coleman.
Right.
You know, like, hey, I'm going to be playing here that night. If y'all want to, you know, you've been asking, so come out.
Right.
I'm going to be here at Moe's. So, that, you know.
I was going to come out.
Oh, for the other thing?
I'm kidding.
All right, you go ahead.
I wasn't gonna come out. I was just gonna come out there and listen to you.
That's what I told people. I was like, man, y'all get down over there, come over here, we'll get those. And sure enough, you know, some of them did. Because, you know,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to be somebody that limits themselves to
See,
a
gays
certain
don't
fan base.
Yeah,
that-
gays
that's
don't
me.
bother me. Yeah.
You know, there's people out there that I've been called a racist. I've been called everything. And I'm just like, man, you don't know it. But, like, I have friends everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
You know, all walks of life, and if you want to call me that, whatever.
So
That's
good.
fine. Don't hurt my feelings.
No.
You know, people that know me know me.
Yeah.
I think who was it that did a song? Brantley Gilbert. He sang one that said the ones that got me got me.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. I forget. I should have done my homework. I'm a big Brantley Gilbert fan, by the way. He's awesome.
You'll think of it as soon as we get on this podcast.
Yeah,
You'll
as soon as
hey,
we
you
get
know what I was
you
gonna
know,
say?
that's all.
Yeah. So, like, when you first started playing stuff, did you start out country?
Man, actually, my parents bought me like an old Indiana acoustic.
I had one.
And
Yeah.
mine was a black one, you know, it was like Johnny Cash. And also, the same year for Christmas, they bought me that and the complete box set of Black Sabbath.
I like Black
And I'm a
Sabbath.
big Ozzy Osbourne fan. And I'm just a huge old music fan in general.
See, I like classic rock.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, anything from Chevy Van to Flirting with Disaster to
Molly Hatchet.
yeah, any of that. And I love that stuff.
Oh, I do too.
You know, and because that was real music. You know,
It
there
was.
was a beat, the drums, the guitar, like.
You had a 2-minute solo.
Yeah.
Almost
Yeah,
every song.
yeah,
you
every
know what I mean?
song.
Nowadays,
Now you
it's
don't even get a
nothing.
solo.
No, you don't.
That we were talking about. So I work part time, really part time, hardcore guitars and more in Coleman. Plug for those guys.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun out there. And I've worked there since January, and I think I've worked like 28 days.
Really?
So it's really part time.
You're like twice a month. But...
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's barely that for real.
Well, you're always going. You're
Yeah.
always
I'm always gigging, and
playing. Stuff.
that was his thing. Eric Gibson's the manager, and he's like, man, if you could just come in, you know, maybe on a Monday or like Thursday and Friday, I had to go get my kids from school, so come in and cover for a few hours. I'm like, yeah, I'd love to. It'd be awesome, you know, and I get to meet fans and friends and new people. I don't really consider anybody fans. I kind of consider them friends, you know.
You got a lot of fans.
Um,
I'll tell you that right now.
I tell a lot of people I'm probably one that would get kidnapped because I see life as a stranger is a friend you've not met yet.
Right, yeah.
You know, and one day that might bite me in the ass, but for now.
That's what people don't know this, but me and him actually just officially met tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, like I follow you on Facebook and keep up with you and stuff, and I got 2 small children, so I don't get to go out and listen to live music like I would love to. You know, I mean, me and Whitney now, way back when, we used to just go and sit at the bar, listen to music, you know, that kind of stuff. Now with young children.
Well, how you talking about that though, man? Some of these places I play are family-friendly establishments.
Really?
You bring the whole crew, your grandmama. You know, ain't gonna do nothing that would embarrass your grandmama.
Right, yeah, no. Speaking of grandmas, I've got to bring this up because I actually I was looking back. I like to kind of do. Sorry, y'all, that was a Diet Coke. I look back on people and stuff, and I'd actually put a Karen thing on there. Your grandmother's picture, I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is more Southern than this? I mean, this, you know, this was awesome.
I have to say, so like we come from a tight knit, like family's family, like you know. My grandmother, she just passed.
Mm-hmm.
Like the day after Thanksgiving. I think Thursday was Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
She passed away that Friday.
Yeah.
And she was my biggest fan. Man, anything and everything I did, she wanted to be a part of it.
grandparents love you, dude.
I know, right?
It don't matter what I mean, they support you. They're there for you. You know.
And like, I had great parents growing up, but like my mom and dad both worked.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandpa and my grandma raised me and my cousins, like, cause we all live on like 40 acres. Like,
right.
We're all just this little community, and
country living.
Yeah, country living at its finest. Like they let us walk to grandma's. Be careful going across the dam at the pond. Don't get snake bit. If you do, run faster. Scream loud. That's just how we were raised.
Stop, drop, and roll, baby.
My grandpa, it didn't matter what we did. My grandpa chewed Red Man, and for as long as I could remember. And then as he got older, he started chewing Taylor's Pride. But even I can remember being an adult, like 23, 24 years old. And I'm like, damn, I just got stung. And he'd be like, I heard you. And he'd pull his chew out. But it worked. Like,
skull works too.
It worked. It was so good. And
those old homemade remedies are
exactly.
They're way better.
Like my grandma, she put Jack Daniels in everything she cooked. Everything. Like that's her secret recipe, Jack Daniels. And most time it cooks out.
Oh yeah.
But it gives a flavor to stuff. And but yeah, Grandma was my biggest fan, man, and we had a lot of good years with her. I'll get into that in a minute. Anyway, so the moonshine thing, we were doing a music video, and it was for my song Beers, Bonfires, and Back Roads. Y'all can check that out on YouTube, and you'll see my little grandma in her little cowboy hat with her Jesse Priest shirt on. And but she in that video she drinks some of the moonshine.
Straight out the jar, baby. I liked it, man. I love that.
I don't know how much just went through that night, but everybody drank out of that jar. I'm
hoping when I get older, I'm like that,
yeah.
Dude. I want them to be like, hey, I'm gonna get my grandpa to come over to this bonfire.
Right.
We'll have to carry him home, but he's
we had to go get him, wheel him out of the house. But so like my grandma, me and my brother are both, I like to tell people my parents did not have normal children. Me and my brother both. He is a tattoo artist in Huntsville. He does tattoos. He's done a ton of my tattoos.
I can't work. I was going to ask you that actually. I'm getting some more. So yeah.
He works at a place called Black Tide Tattoo Company. It's in Huntsville. And they do killer work. I'm super proud of him.
Yeah, your artwork is good, man. Yeah.
He's good. He's good at what he does. Mm-hmm. And he did all my album art. If you look at anything Jesse Priest music wise, he came up, like my logo is my head, like the cartoon version of my head. Yeah. He did that. Yeah. So if it wasn't for my brother, I wouldn't even have logos or this, that, or the other. I would have just went with some stock images.
See, I need some guests too. I need to get him.
Get with him.
Yeah, I will.
He also designed the dog at Hank's Sports Bar.
Really?
Rumors Deli.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They hit him up. He designed the dog for him.
It's like a special thing for you. You got to be able to like paint that image in your head. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody would ask me to draw a dog, man, they'd be like, what is that? Dude? Me and my wife have been trying to figure out the guest too. I'm like, well, we could do like a G and a W, and it's like,
trying to,
man, I'm like, I don't want it to be
so
I want it to be cool.
This right here, I don't know, but it says if the South would have won.
Yeah.
Well, that's Hank Williams' face on a $100 bill. That's my tattoo.
Yeah.
But so he did this whole thing of these little, they call them flash sheets.
Yeah.
And it's like an artist does artwork. And it is, he had it the South would have won. And, because in that song he says, I put Hank Williams' face on $100 bills. So he drew that. And then he drew a wooden Indian. And, it says Kalijah. My favorite one.
I love Indians.
Is he's got a hair lip pope. He drew a hair lip pope. I had to show you after the podcast, man. But he drew a hair lip pope. And God, dude, It's taking everything in me not to get that tattoo. Because I'm like, is that sacrilegious or like, cause
No,
it's
all game.
funny.
It's your body.
Yeah, it's funny. And then, of course, like Mama tried, man, he just designed this out of his mind, dude. And I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of the first things I noticed, man, was your artwork. I'm like, dude.
I guess
ink, yeah. Ink, I guess it should be called ink.
I have no idea. That's tattoos.
Yeah.
But I guess for me, songwriting is the same, pulling that out of thin air and out of the story, as him pulling an image out of his mind or something, you know? Like,
well, yeah, that makes plenty of sense.
Yeah, because he, like that artwork, man, I just told him, so the name of the album is Alabama Bloodline. And he drew that.
This is awesome.
He drew that.
Yes, yeah.
You know, the other song's called Poison to the Soul. He drew that artwork. I'm like, I don't know that I could have just pulled that out of my hat to say. But me and him, anyway, that's a long story.
You are close knit.
Yeah,
you and your brother.
We're tied. I actually have another little brother, you know, Luke Wisner. I don't know, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we raised him for a long time. So
Okay.
they're both my little brothers.
Yeah,
they're only a month apart. They're January and February.
Oh, okay.
And I'm 6 years older than them. So I always got to take them, and they got to do a lot of life that they normally wouldn't have got to do with
My
older brother.
We were at talking about that. It's funny. My middle brother, Matt, he gave me his ID one time, and he had my cousin's ID. My brother did, and I'm in Sammy T's dancing in there, man. I'm like dancing it up. I'm like 19, and I get to looking across the dance floor. My dad was there.
Oh, for real?
Needless to say, though, he took me home. Yeah, so it was a long talk. I never knew Huntsville, Alabama was so far away until you get one of those like ask you and talks. You know, he's like, what are you doing there?
The car ride with your dad when he's got to tell you something because you're disappointed in him.
Oh man, I know.
You're like, good God, did they move Cole? Well, we live in Holly Pond, so I'm like, did they move Holly Pond?
Where are we going?
Well,
What's going on? Are you just riding me around?
Yeah.
You know, I had one beer. I feel like you're just riding me around, you know.
You passed our drive 3 times. I'm not done talking.
He's like, yeah, I got one more thing to tell you, but the E-light's on, so we're gonna go home now, I guess.
Exactly.
So
that's what we were trying to. Anyways, since we don't have normal jobs, we were going to take our grandma on this grand final life trip.
Really?
Because she wanted to take us out west. She wanted to see the redwoods again. Like, she had seen all of it, but she wanted to take us.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted us
to
to see the Grand Canyon. So me and him saved up our money. You know, we told her, save your money, Grandma, you know, and she wouldn't have to pay for nothing. I'm talking about me and him did all we could. Saved every dime. And, you know, we just told her, she's like, well, I got this much saved, boys, I'm ready, you know, and we said, okay, you know, we're planning it. So August, we're going, you know. I don't care if COVID takes everybody out, our plan is to go with Grandma out west. And then she got sick.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was 17 months ago, because she, 2 months, so it actually, about 20 months ago was our plan. We were going to leave, and she got down sick. Yeah. And they called the family into the hospital, I think 3 different times, because they were like, she's going out. And we're like, for real? Because she was fine up to that point. Well, they sent her home on hospice. She starts getting better. And, you know, August rolls around, and it would upset her, because, you know, that's when we're going to leave. And we're like, hey, we still saved. Like, we're good to go. As soon as you can get, you know, mobile enough to go. And she never did, man. She was on hospice for 17 months. And, but actually this past, what was it, March, April-ish, I got to take her to the beach.
That's
I
awesome.
played down there for about a week. So my
Oh,
grandma,
really?
yeah, my grandma got to go
Your
down around
grandma
the
would have
city.
been like really hip.
Yeah,
dude.
no, she was awesome. You love
I
one.
mean, that's
But she did. I got to take her down to Bike Week, and we just enjoyed a
awesome.
week at the beach with grandma. So, you know, I got to do a few final things with her.
Yeah.
Weren't too huge. We took her to a petting zoo, and it was one of them drive-through ones, the one in Huntsville.
Oh, yeah, like a
Harmony Park.
Yeah, Harmony Park Safari. Yeah. Did you get your
And,
car beat up?
Dude, we took her car, and I was so nervous because they got Texas Longhorns in there.
Oh
Man.
yeah.
And they kept coming up, and the car in front of us, his horn just straight down the side. And I was like, here it comes, here it comes. Mom was going to kill us because my grandma, before she got sick, just bought a new Nissan Rogue. And I'm like, well, here we go. We're never going to hear the end of it now. And so she, it's funny, like, seriously, she just, you didn't know what she'd say, but there was a zebra, and it kept stealing her cup. And so I'd reach across the car, and because he'd stick his head in there again with the cup, and I'd yank the cup from the zebra. And man, I don't know, we were halfway through the park. Here comes that zebra. And my grandma looked over, she said, oh no, there's that damn zebra. And like it just ran back to her window. Like it just wanted to be with grandma.
Did it take her food again?
Yeah, oh yeah. It took her cup 3 or 4 times. But it was just fun, you know, her getting
That is, yeah. I like that place. The ostriches though.
Oh, God.
That's like the freaky dude. The way they look at
Yeah.
you, I'm like, hey, well, back up, dude. Swear to God, I got a gun in here.
I will take you out.
We rented one of their Xteras.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, man. Lee Kate was like little. She was maybe like 2.5, maybe 3. She was standing in Whitney's lap. I'm driving, of course. So he's throwing this food out. One of these Rams or whatever came up, and a couple of them got to fighting, dude. Well, this Ram or whatever kicked the side of this Xterra. I really thought it was going over. So when I'm talking about it shook. That thing kicked the kill.
Mm.
So when we got to the Buffaloes, I kind of hurried that up. I'm like, oh, yeah. I think this car might get flipped, you know what I mean? But the Buffalo too, they come up, their heads are, it's unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, like you don't even fit in the window,
No,
dude.
yeah, you gotta hold your hand down.
Those things are, oh man, unbelievable. So, all right, talking about your brother doing artwork, you write music. When you write a song, are you writing that thing off of life stories? Do you write it off of thoughts? Is it something you dream up, or is it?
A little bit of all of it, really. So I wrote a song called Truck I Can't Afford, and it's kind of a jokey, playful, you know, it says I want to drive around, or she makes me want to drive around in a truck I can't afford,
Yeah.
you know, talking about a girl. And so I went out and bought a jacked up 4x4. Didn't know how to pay for it, but I needed something more, you know, so she makes me want to drive around in a truck I can't afford. Well, the whole part of that, me and Aaron Chandler, the original lead guitar player, we were at his house one day, and we were watching, I talk about music all the time, like it's just my life.
It's in your blood.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I never get bored with
what
music.
you like.
And me and him were talking, and I think we were watching a Luke Combs video, and we're just reading comments, I guess, because I don't know, something we were doing.
Yeah, some comments though. I read through them too myself. I'm guilty.
This random guy commented on the video and said, "Man, this song makes me want to drive around in a truck I can't afford." And Aaron said, "That sounds like a country song." He said, "Do you think you could write one?" I said, "Oh yeah." I said, I'll get it done. I'll have it done tomorrow. And so that whole night, man, I thought about that. And sure enough, next day, I come over to his house and I said, "Here's what I got." And I showed him like.
Did you put it on the album too?
Yeah, I don't know if it's on the record, but it is out.
It is out.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's out on iTunes.
Where can you listen to some of your music at?
Man, Spotify, iTunes. We got a channel on Spotify just for like my stuff.
Jesse
and then,
Priest.
Yeah, Jesse
Okay.
Priest music, and then same thing on iTunes. And man, I tell people to go listen to it on YouTube for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, legally download it. I don't know, whatever you want to do.
Well,
You know,
that's why you're raised.
yeah. I mean,
You know what I mean?
I'm not here to like make $1 bajillion, man. Like
Right.
music is my
Sure.
life. I love it, and you know, I think I got a story to tell with something. And you know, I've had people that are like, "Hey, man, you know, I really relate to this song
Mm-hmm.
that you wrote." You know, and that's kind of the moments I live for. The greatest thing ever, man, is I got some friends out in Langston, Alabama, and they'll hire me to play private gigs for them.
Yeah.
So like, we'll go out there and do, well, the Sand Mountain Drag Strip. You ever been there?
I'm not.
We
You can hear this one on Saturday night, though.
Oh yeah, I bet. But they, man, they were racing little kids. They had the junior cars out there one day, and they're friends with the owner. So they said, "Man, come over here to the drag strip. Bring the band. We're just gonna do a big, huge show." And so these little junior racers raced until nightfall. Man, it was cool watching the little kids race.
Yeah.
And they said, we set up, and them singing my songs back to me was the craziest thing. And there was maybe like 60 of them, you know. And so like, I know that other artists, you know, you might have 1 million people in the stand, but those 60 people meant the world to me.
Made you not,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, that's like a high you don't come down from in my life, you know.
Well, if you looked on my phone at my music on there, like I got everything from Ronnie Millsap to 50 Cent.
Mm-hmm.
But now, if I can find that song live, that's why I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like live music. I like Oasis. What's that song? Don't Look Back in Anger.
Yeah.
I used to listen to that thing. I blare that thing in my car because I wanted to hear the crowd. I thought that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like it almost gives me chill bumps right now.
Yeah, man. I know how that is, because
and that wasn't even me singing.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just me listening to a song. I'm like, man, that's awesome. I don't know how many people's there, but I mean, like, knowing your music, yeah, I know it's got to be like
I wrote that in one of my songs too. I got a song called "Are You Really Seeing Me," and it says, "The roar of the crowd just gets me right in my feels." That's one of them things, man. Like, I've played all over, from Indiana, Ohio, Georgia, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida. I play everywhere, and that's like, you know, I'd love to play way further out. You know,
Yeah.
That's what I'm working on this next year. Is I'm trying to, when summer rolls around, I have some of the bigger summer gigs, kind of like Thunder on the Beach down in Panama City, that I'll continue to play. But I also want to go out west. I want to go play everywhere. I want to go see stuff and play music.
Thunder at the Beach. Would you be at like a bar? Would you be on the beach or like
Yeah,
they
well,
set a stage up?
I play everywhere down there. I was trying to think. I went to Panama City 7 times last
Really?
year just to play.
Yeah.
I'm going again the last week in January.
I need to be a groupie.
If anybody's out there listening, I'll be at Panama City the 24th through the 30th.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Of
January.
January.
2023.
Okay.
But yeah, man, that's one of them things. You know, and I've played for empty bar stools, and those can get boring.
Not bad.
But you know, a lot of the places, you know, the staff get into it, so you're not really just playing for empty places. You know,
Once it's empty, then all the waitresses
Yeah.
and all that start dancing. Yeah.
hanging out, and it's still a great show.
See the tavern, out the bowling alley. I feel like they'd be like that,
Yeah.
where they're gonna get out there and dance.
Right.
And, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. What do you charge? Like, if somebody wanted you to come to their house for their birthday party,
Just for me, for 4 hours, or 3 or 4 hours, just me, an acoustic guitar is $250.
that's dirt cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's way underselling us.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do this for a living, so like,
Somebody's better than none.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then I have people, they're like, No, we're not doing that. We'll pay you more.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but
Well, see, that's what, like if you got me like painting this image where I'm gonna have you out here in the spring or like the first of summer where I'm like, I'm gonna pull a trailer up.
Yeah.
I want your whole band. How much your whole band?
well, we do a grand because
Okay.
the full band is we're a 5-piece band now. We have lights. We have
Oh, so you come set up
Yeah.
everything.
yeah.
See, that's
So that's why, you know, like that's what I'm saying, like $250 for me, we can do a 3-piece thing, you know, we charge like $600 for 3-piece, and then for, what did I say, a 5-piece, 4-piece. A 4-piece, 4 of us with everything, lights and bells and whistles is about $1,000 for.
And see, that's only $250 a piece a person.
Yeah, and
I mean, that's
yeah.
cheap. 3 hours, 4 hours.
Yeah, 4
I mean,
hours.
That's cheap. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
'cause
very cheap. Yeah.
I would, I don't know. And then some people kind of get mad at me, like other artists. They're like, well, man, you're trying to undercut us. And I'm like, I'm not trying to undercut you, man. I'm doing this for a living. So
It's
I
a
have
market
to.
game. I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know.
If somebody's selling, take for instance, you know, I used to fish, so the Alabama rig cost $25 a pop back then. Now I can make it for $2.50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, of course I'm gonna like make my own. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like a.
That's like, you know, my t-shirts and stuff, like, I have to charge so much for them. Like the vinyls, I still have a couple vinyls if anybody's interested, but they cost $50 because
Yeah.
vinyls are so expensive to make.
Oh, I
On
guarantee
top
you.
of, if I have to ship it, they're gonna be even more. Like I've had to ship one, and with shipping, like me making breaking even was like $75. But I mean, that's because I have to ship it.
But if you're one of those people I feel like they want my product, they want my merchandise, I want them to have it.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
do.
mean? Like, yeah, that's.
Definitely. I do giveaways all the time. And man, like, I don't know, a kid comes up to me, I got some like, I should have brought them, but I got some koozies and like these little rubber bracelet things that say Jesse Bruce Music. I mean, I give stuff away all the time.
No, yeah.
And they're like, how are you going to make any money? And I'm like, I'm not worried about it. Like,
Right,
if I
yeah.
didn't have the money to buy the stuff,
You're more like, I'm doing it for the people instead of I'm doing it for, I'm not trying to be a millionaire tomorrow.
Yeah, no.
I just want you to enjoy my music.
Yeah.
Maybe some songs gonna touch you in some way. See, I swear I can hear a song, man, like, and I can imagine back to where I heard that thing from. There are certain songs that makes me think of the beach. There are certain songs that's like, I'll sing in the shower. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, like with musicians, like y'all, like the way y'all paint a picture in somebody's head too, I guess, is like, oh man, I imagine going down that old road, you know, like you're like your video is. It's like, I imagine going down that road, you know, I'm riding shotgun with him. You know what I mean? It's like,
definitely.
that's what I like, you know? And I'll always like, me and you might be riding somewhere, we hear some song, and I'll say, you know what, man, I heard that song, me and Jesse Priest was headed back in Tennessee with a truckload of moonshine. You know
Exactly,
yeah, you know, Tennessee whiskey. That always makes me want to go to Nashville, dude. Like, I can almost drop what I'm doing and just be like, I'm going to Nashville.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think that's, so like I posted on Facebook the other day about kind of that, where if we had no common ground, music would give you a building block, you know? So like no matter political views, no matter religious views, no matter unvaxxed, vaxxed, gay, straight, trans, anything out there.
Right.
Black, white, gray.
Oh, yeah.
There is music that'll bring you together.
Oh, there is, yeah.
You know, like, and that's like the most beautiful thing in the world to me is how music is not just nowadays people are like, oh, that guy's a Democrat, so I don't want to listen to his music. And I'm like, dude, I don't care.
I want to listen to what I like.
Yeah.
You
What
know,
he does
Elton
in
John.
his house is his problem.
That's
you
right.
know.
Yeah.
It's not
Elton
my
John.
problem.
Yeah.
I love Elton John.
Me too. I think he's one of the best like musicians ever. You know what I mean?
How many
Dancer
people do you
comes
know?
on, and I'm like,
How many people you know that hate
that.
Queen? You know,
A lot.
Who hates Freddie Mercury?
they
Just
need
'cause
to
he
watch
was
the
gay?
Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah. He hated he was gay. You know, he tried to have that cover up and all that.
Oh, yeah.
It was like his band members were like, "We knew it all along, dude.
Yeah, right.
We're like, it's okay."
Yeah.
You know, it's like.
But you know, you could take like one of the most hateful people in the world, and I'm sure they're gonna be like, "Oh man, you know, I like a Queen song,"
Oh yeah.
and you're like, "Oh, do you? Well, let me inform you." You know, if you don't already know,
Everything does lead to topics like that. You know, it's
Right.
like, hey, I don't know if you saw it or not, but he beat up his girlfriend the other day in the elevator. You know, or,
Yeah,
it's like always, it's like get lost in the music, bro. You know what I mean? That's what.
You know, and that's like, you know, artists, you're under a microscope. Even things that I do, like, man, I've signed autographs at gas station parking lot while I'm pumping gas.
Yeah.
And it's weird for me. Like,
You
I'm not saying don't deter that.
Well, you're a small town guy, so you're not.
Yeah.
You don't think of yourself like
No.
that, but you are. I mean, you're a.
Like, and they always they come up and they're like, "You're Jesse Priest," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know," but
You really just want to do a cartwheel or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
You sing. I'm like, yeah, that's me. And so like, then we'll strike up a conversation. Then I've had people that's like, "Oh man, I seen you at the restaurant the other day, and was too nervous to come up and talk to you or something." I'm like, "Man, don't be." Like,
Yeah, no, come on.
because I literally do not see myself as anything other than
You are.
just a random dude in the world.
You're a big deal around here.
You
man.
know?
Yeah, you are. You're
I've had to take
And I'm gonna
pictures
tell
of
you.
drive-thrus, man.
really.
With workers, they're like, "Can I get a selfie?" And I'm like, "Definitely, yes, please." Like, I think it's really groovy because it's just
Well, you're.
odd.
You got the small. You need to write a song about this. You got the small town heart, but you really are bigger than that. Does that make sense? I mean, like, yeah,
I get what you're saying, though. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't. My view isn't.
Your view is not like, hey, I'm Blake Shelton. I'm on. I ain't signing an autograph. Now I'm trying to get some food. McDonald's, you know. Like you're like,
That's
hey,
not
dude,
me.
come on, I'll take a picture of you. My God, I'll sign your forehead. You know what I mean? It's like,
I will
yeah.
sign stuff until my
And that's
arm
why-
falls off.
That's why you will end up making it big, and everybody will continue to love you, man. Because I mean, like that goes a long way with folks, man. I mean, it really does. Like you can walk up to a lot of them, like professional athletes or whatever. They won't give you the time of day.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
See, and that's what bothers me too. Like we were talking earlier about Foo Fighters, like you would not be who you are had it not been for that person that's wanting your autograph.
The fans.
You know,
right.
you know, one or two ain't gonna hurt you. You know, if you deter, but like if you just everybody's like, "You ever meet that old boy's a dickhead?" Like, you know, that's gonna deter people like hardcore away from you.
Yeah, see, that's not. We weren't raised like that.
No.
Where we are. I mean, it's like.
That's what I'll do now. I go to Panama City, and I've got such a local following from the locals there.
Yeah.
That like I was eating at the Waffle House. It was like it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and some person was like, "Man, dude, we saw you play down here, you know, like 5 or 6 months ago, you know, and like, are you down for the week?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Where you playing?
You know, I'm playing over here, and they're like, "Oh, we'll be there. We gotta tell so and so," you know. And then like all of a sudden, you got all these locals from a whole nother area. You know, that's even like in Ohio and Indiana when I played there. Like,
So how do you get into that? Like, where you go somewhere else? Like, are you like looking online, you know, like somewhere looking for like live artists or?
no man, the grace of God, dude.
Really?
I play a lot of biker things. clubhouses, just mutual, like the leather shop, Red Line Leather in Hansville. I played there. And during one of these like bike shop shows that I was playing, there was a guy by the name of Billy Don Burns that was touring around. And some guys from Indiana are big fans, and they follow him around. So when they heard he was coming to Alabama, they left Indiana, cruised down here. They'd made friends with some people in Coleman. And then, man, that turned them on to my music.
Really?
They loved my music. So much so that I've been there 4 or 5 times now.
Did you open for him, or?
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
Opened for him, and then, man, they've just had me. There's a place up there called Whippoorwill Lake. They've had me play at their little campground out there. And I've played in the middle of a small random town. And I don't know if you ever seen wind turbines in real life, but them things are massive.
When I worked at the railroad, they
yeah.
actually bring the blades and stuff, like the generator and all that, you know, I mean, and a blade will take up a train car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
We were
about.
driving through, me and Daniel actually, like, I'm surprised Daniel's still my friend, to be honest with you. I'm plugging my friend Daniel Harbison. Go check him out. He's got great music. But I'm surprised he's still my friend. Because literally, this is what happened. I played in Aniana at 10 Town Brewing. And I played from, I think it was 6:30 to 9:30. And I called him and I said, do you play this weekend? He said, no, man, I'm off. I said, go meet at 10 Town and then go with me to Indiana. He's like, well, when? I said, I play Saturday night. He's like, so you're going to play 10 Town Friday night, and then you're going to drive 500 miles to Indiana and play Saturday night? I
They want to hear it.
definitely. That's what I'm doing. And he's like, let's go. Daniel's awesome.
Yeah,
He's
Daniel's
one of
a
my
good
best
guy.
friends.
I actually know him from way back when. Yeah, Daniel is. And
that's what we do. I'll drive until I absolutely am just like blackout tired. And I'm like, dude, it's your turn. And he's like, okay. And like, so I think it took us about 9.5 hours to get to Indiana. We left at 9:30 from Aniana, Alabama, drove into the heart of Indiana, and then we got there early that morning, like, I'm gonna say 9 o'clock that next Saturday morning.
yeah.
And
What time was y'all performing?
we didn't have to play till 6. So
Okay, so you got time to get a little bit of rest.
we had to go. We got to go in our little shack and rest that they provided for us, and then.
But adrenaline though, you probably didn't sleep, did you?
No, we did. We were super tired, dead tired. When you think about it, you've been up all day Friday.
Well, singing wears you out anyway.
Oh,
Yeah. That's why I sleep good after I get out and shower, dude.
Yeah. I'm gonna put on a hell of a
Nobody
concert.
has ever accused me of being a good singer, dude. Like, I'm telling you, I am terrible at singing. And like, for me playing the guitar and stuff, I couldn't even like get it together. I would be strumming and I'd be trying to sing the strums. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah,
Like, you know,
yeah.
I never, God didn't give me that gift, dude. I'll tell you, I was kidding my wife, actually, me and her first started dating. We'd be going down the road and I'm one of those people that's just like, shout through the heart. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. And we got to my mom's house and I said, Mom, tell her I'm the best singer you ever heard. She looked at me all funny. You're terrible at singing.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Mom.
But when I get in that shower now, I'm being back Bon Jovi with Meatloaf, dude. I'm telling you, like, I'll let it rip. I like to have a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my thing anyway, you know. You sing in the shower, you let rip in there.
Man, no, I don't. Like, I catch myself, I don't even listen to the radio sometimes.
Really? Just sing down, going down the road
All of a
and stuff?
sudden I'm just driving and I'm like, oh wow, I'm here. I forgot to put music on or anything. But I think it's just because, like, literally I played, like last week, man, I played Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the only day I had off was Monday. And then I worked at the guitar store on Monday. And like this week, I played Tuesday. Tonight I have off, and tomorrow night we're gonna have band practice, and then I I was supposed to play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday again, but Sunday got canceled, so we're not playing Sunday.
I got you. Now, do y'all like with practicing? Say you're gonna add in a new song, but most time, I guess when you're practicing, you go through what you already know too, or you go through things that was kind of not as good, like you didn't feel like the guitar player was on tune, or
because a lot of the musicians I use are good musicians, so they know their way around their instrument. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so they're gonna play lead, and they'll be like, well, unless we want, like, so if you want Sweet Home Alabama, we want it to sound as much like Sweet Home Alabama as possible.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll go in and practice that one. But if we sing like, Can't You See?
Can't you see?
Yeah, like we'll just
Marshall Tucker, baby.
we'll just pause and throw in a random solo in there and just let the guitarist eat.
Yeah, same row with it. Everybody's keeping rhythm and stuff. Yeah, just
and but there's certain songs like we do that Eric Clapton song, the It's Late in the Evening.
Oh yeah.
And then but everybody wants that. So you gotta have that in there.
Yeah,
you know, like, cause that'd be like playing Sweet Home Alabama without doing dun 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 dun.
Straight rhythm, you gotta have that lead in there, no doubt, dude. Eric Clapton, man, talking about that song, I mean, guitar player, he was unreal.
Yeah, he's wild.
Yeah, he is, and it's probably some of the more unappreciated because like he wasn't, but like Layla acoustic.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of picking and
that's one of my favorite.
Is he not like number 7 greatest guitarist of all time or something? It's like
he's
crazy,
up there.
okay? Yeah, because people always think like Jimi Hendrix, Yngwie Malmsteen, all these kind of people. It's like, oh, Eddie Van Halen, then Eric Clapton.
Yeah,
but he was just a laid back.
good.
But what he played was hard.
Oh,
you know, I mean, like it was. You just ain't gonna print the tabs off and be able to roll with Eric Clapton song.
My favorite is Prince.
I love Prince.
I'm
oh my
a
God,
huge Prince fan. And
really?
Like, his music is so. Okay, so like, you got Leonard Skinner, and they got like 7 guitarists. Okay, so the only way to fulfill a Skinner song such as Sweet Home Alabama is to have like 4 guitar players.
Right. I mean, like
one of
Freebird,
them, one of them's playing rhythm, doing the dun 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 and strumming the chord. Well, then the other guy is playing the bar chord variation of it, and then another guy is playing the lead in fills, and then another guy's actually playing lead. So they were musical geniuses.
Yes.
Those guys, they weren't dumb. Like none of them. It was all intricate because, like, I could play Sweet Home Alabama for you, like 4 different ways because that's how many chords they used.
So each person had their own different.
Yeah, the own way of doing it, and it made that song so full of life. Like even on Needle and a Spoon.
That wrote their death out.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Right? But that song is one of those, man, where they just pumped music into it. And like, a lot of times it gets muddy, like if you pump too much. But like if you've got 3 guitar players playing the same exact chords, it's gonna sound muddy because it's just gonna sound just huge. But they're doing it different by adding, okay, I'm gonna do the bar chords. And then this guy's like, well, I'm gonna do the harmony.
The other guy's gonna do the old chords.
Exactly. So, but Prince was a genius. I wish I could have met him.
Dude, that Super Bowl performance that time, it was raining. They actually tried to cancel that.
I'm glad they didn't.
Me too. And they're like, it's raining too hard. You can't. He said, I hope it rains harder, man. I mean, like that was. I watched
That's
that
a true
video.
artist,
I know, dude. He enjoyed being there. It wasn't like, hey, I'm just making $750,000 off this. I want these people to hear it. Like, I'm gonna make this awesome.
Yeah, they're gonna have Prince show.
Oh yeah.
I feel that way. I'm a big Garth Brooks fan. I know people are iffy about him. But
Garth Brooks and George Strait never wrote a bad song.
When Garth came back out, he finally got out of Vegas. What was it, like 2014?
Is that
when he did the Man Against Machine tour?
I'm thinking of the did he do the Chris Gaines?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Okay,
It was like 2000, I don't know, 3 around the boy band time.
Yeah.
But I even like some of that stuff. But so my cousin bought me tickets to go see Garth Brooks. Dude, that was a hell of a show. One of the greatest shows. But what was crazy is he was so about his fans that he agreed. That show that we went to sold out in under 5 minutes.
Really?
So at the BJCC in Birmingham. So it sold out in 5 minutes.
70,000 people.
So he said, hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and right after that show, I'm going to do another show. The entire same show. So like when we got done with our show, man, it was like midnight 30, like 12:30, 1 o'clock. So they're shoveling us out the door. And while we're going out, people are cleaning as people are going in the front. So like, it's just a whole working mechanism. But he was dedicated to having so many. And then the next show, it sold out in 10 minutes.
Really?
So I don't even know how late those people were there, because we were there from I think we got there at like 6, and I think everything really got hardcore. He didn't have an opener or nothing.
Really? So he played the whole time.
Yeah.
Which he's got, my gosh, Garth Brooks has probably got 100 songs easily.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking like George Strait, Garth Brooks. That was my era, like growing up.
Right.
George Strait, my God, they're gonna have a movie. It comes out pure country. I mean, like it was, I mean, and anything those guys wrote up, it's not something you would turn the stereo on. Like you could actually put their CD.
Friends in Low Places was bought for $400.
Really? So he didn't write that. He bought it.
Well, so I don't know what the whole story is because I heard about it on a podcast actually the other day, and I didn't get to finish what they were talking about. But some guy has come out and said that he sold he was buying everybody shots or something in the bar. Bar tab wound up being $400. He couldn't cover it. They're going to take him to jail. There was all these producers in there though from my big record company, and he said, "I got the next hit. If you guys will cover my tab." So this guy's like, "I'll give 100," and then this guy was like, "I'll give $200." And so he said, "Okay." So he said he went the next day and signed over the rights to Friends in Low Places, and it's made like $22 million now.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And
don't take that to the bank,
well, it's just guesstimate anyway, yeah.
That's,
but Friends in Low Places, even me, I'm not a huge country fanatic, but I can sing every word of that. I mean, yeah.
And so that's kind of like with my music. I don't want to be limited to being. They put me outlaw, and they put me southern rock, and I feel fit for that.
Yeah,
I'm
I like
cool with
outlaw
that.
country.
But
I listen to Pandora some.
I just don't want to be limited to that.
Right,
If I write a pop song, I doubt that I'm going to do the pop song. I might record it, and then it might be something I push to sell. But most of my stuff, if you want a good one, like introductory course, I feel is Coming Back Around. That's the one, driving through these small town southern
Man,
towns.
I love that song, dude. I do. I love that song.
That's just like taking a playbook out of Skinner and then the Allman Brothers,
Yeah.
just a heavy driving tune.
talking about Skinner, Justin White was a year older than me. And we, when I was in 11th grade, so I'd been 2001, we actually, we were just gonna throw this little band together. We're gonna play Enter Sandman, you know.
Yeah.
And,
As one does.
yeah, you know, it's easy. We throw this thing together, you know, all this kind of stuff. But Justin White's mother was the last surviving member of Leonard Skinner, and he's from Coleman.
Oh yeah, David Joe. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And we went, I don't know if he listens to this podcast or not. I'm gonna tag him in this anyway, but we went to his house, and he was one of those people, you know, he didn't really say a whole lot about it, you know, and it's like,
I was in school with her daughter.
oh, okay, yeah.
And
but like they had records and all, they had like old records just like hanging in their house.
Yeah, man.
They actually had, seems like maybe That Smell. There was several of them they had, you know, like where they actually sat down and wrote that song, and it was actually on paper. They had that stuff framed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
From Coleman, Alabama, right here.
Yeah, man. I got to meet her when I was in high school. She, her daughter went to high school with me, Destiny, and you know, she never really said a whole lot about it. And then remember one time, she was like, "Oh, my mom used to sing Leonard Skinner," and we're kind of like, "Okay," you know. And I'm like, "What are you getting at?" But anyway, she introduced me to her mom, and I was like, "Oh, damn, what, for real?
Oh, yeah,
for real, you're Debbie Joe, okay?" You know, and
I think they had a this is not quote unquote, but me and Justin are pretty good friends. I think they had like some kind of talent singing contest or something that was with the churches or something like that. Yeah. She actually won that contest, but I don't think she was too crazy about actually going on Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, I think it was.
But when she, before Leonard Skinner had that plane crash, she actually got sick. Can't remember if it was mono, strep throat, something, and she didn't get on that plane. Or
she was going to drive out or something.
Yeah, something like that.
She was going to drive out to the show because she'd been sick or something, and she was just like, "Yeah, well, I'll just drive out there."
Yeah.
And then I think they said she had a bad dream. And she
that's
was
right.
Like,
yes, that's right.
Talking about getting out.
Yes.
She's like, "I just think something bad's going to happen."
Right. Yeah. She was such a good person, man.
Yeah. I loved her to death. She signed. I got her autograph, and she wrote me the sweet little note, you know, one time.
Yeah.
And I've got it laminated out.
Yeah, man. That's something you.
It's a super groovy. Like, you don't know people.
No,
you
don't.
Like, you know, Jason Isbell. I don't know if you know who he is, but
I don't actually.
He had a band called Jason Isbell, the 400 Unit, and then he played with the Drive-By Truckers for a while.
I remember Drive-By Truckers, yeah.
But he's from Alabama. And he's got a song called Alabama Pines. And he says, if you drive through Talladega on a Sunday in October, I'm trying to think of the lyrics now because I'm drawing a blank. Put myself on the spot.
I'm on that.
Anyway, he says, if you drive through on a Sunday, you better make a stop at Wayne's because it's the only open liquor store for miles. Dude, he's talking about Wayne's Package down here at Hayden. Yeah.
Warrior.
Yeah, Warrior Hayden. And I'm like, you know, when I first got into his music, he's got he's the original writer of Cover Me Up that Morgan Wallen did.
Okay.
He's the original guy.
Now, Morgan Wallen's a Tennessee guy, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But he wrote it, you know, and that's another thing. So like Morgan Wallen gave mad respect to Jason Isbell because he's like, man, that's one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, I wish I'd have wrote it, but a guy named Jason Isbell did. And
that's the deal, though, feeling the music.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like you feel.
Well, that's like
music.
The Chicks, the Dixie Chicks.
Oh yeah.
they sing a song that Delilah sits on the porch singing, or I forgot. Anyway, a long time gone. Long time gone. I've been a long time gone. Yeah. I ain't owed a rose since I don't know when.
I think I do know that one, yeah.
And he talks about
That was back in like the Strawberry
Daddy
Wine.
sits on the front porch, swinging, looking out at a vacant field. Used to be filled with burley tobacco. Lord knows it never will.
Right.
That was actually Daryl Scott. And dude, hearing his version, man, he's wild. Like he's really good. He's an old guy, but he wrote so many songs. There's another one called, I think it's River Take Me, and Montgomery Gentry actually cut it, but it's not a bad version. But Daryl Scott's version is just, in my opinion, it's 10 times better.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of people that do that. A lot of songs out there that you don't know was written by
way back when.
Yeah, or you know, like Tennessee Whiskey. You know, originally that was George Jones.
See, I did not know that.
Oh, did you not? That's an old ass song, man. It was, and it's
I'm
weird.
to Google that now.
Like, there's certain songs that drive musicians crazy that are doing what I do, covers and originals and trying to make in this world. And that's Sweet Home Alabama, Dixieland Delight, and Tennessee Whiskey.
Yeah.
Like, I play Tennessee Whiskey almost every night. What's funny though is people come up and they're like, "You play Tennessee Whiskey?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Well, everybody knows Chris Stapleton is, you know, you're smooth, Tennessee Whiskey. So like, but the George Jones one goes, "You're as smooth
like he's more of a...
as Tennessee Whiskey." Like,
it's kind of like a drier version.
It's just an old school version, and like, I've been listening to that for forever, and I'm like, man, I love that song. And then,
so you knew it before Stapleton?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm a huge oldies fan.
Yeah.
George Jones, Marty Robbins, All the Outlaws,
Marty Robbins,
Hank Sr. Like, I love those guys.
Yeah.
So I'd heard that before, and then I'd first heard of Chris Stapleton. He was with the band Steel Drivers.
See, I didn't know this.
Yeah, he was with the band. They got a song. Well, you know some of the songs.
Yeah, I need to look that up too.
But so that's when I first heard of him. He was, but I think he was with another one called the Jepson Brothers before that. But he had been writing music for years, and so like I was like, man, you know, I really like the Steel Drivers. They're killer.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't pay no mind, and then like 2004. Or maybe before then, Tim McGraw came out with a song called Whiskey and You. And then all of a sudden, Chris Stapleton releases it. Well, I'm like, so then I did some digging. Well, Chris Stapleton wrote that.
Oh, and then you get
Tim McGraw did it in like 2000. So then I did a big, deep dive. I'm like, okay, who's Chris Stapleton? Dude, he's been in the music scene since the 90s, and nobody even flipping knew who he was. And he said what he done is he just kind of, I guess, it got tired of being in the background, or
David Grohl
just finally came out and said, "Hey, I'm Chris Stapleton. Let me blow your minds."
See, that's what David Grohl.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like drummer for Nirvana.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said, like, I mean, did anybody not know like he was that talented sitting back there on that drum set?
Oh, for real.
I mean, like, honest to God, I like the Foo Fighters music 10 times better than I do Nirvana.
I was just gonna say that. I'm not gonna knock Nirvana because I like me some Nirvana. You know,
I like some of it.
Kurt Cobain's wild.
Yeah,
he was wild. Like, I've got a whole book like I bought at Books and Me, and when I was like, I don't know, 13, 14, about Kurt Cobain. It's just his journal or whatever.
People love him, or they're kind of like I am. They're like, I like some of his music, you know, Teen Spirit, of course, you know, that was...
I'm that way. I only like some of it. And I really kind of like just the raw, gritty takes that some of the album stuff that he done.
Yeah.
But...
some of those songs, I feel like he was just trying to fill up a CD, though.
Yeah.
Parlay on a cracker, you know?
Yeah.
It's like...
And then like, he even did that cover that, My Girl, My Girl, Don't Lie to Me.
Another one that might have been a CD filler was Where the Bad Folks Go When They Die. Yeah. But I like that song, actually,
Oh, you want me to really blow your mind? So, you know Nazareth.
Oh yeah.
You know, Hair of the Dog,
baby.
Love
Yeah.
Hurts. You know, Love Hurts is a song from like the 40s.
Really?
Yeah, that's an old like doo-wop song.
That's wild, man.
Love Hurts.
So that was way back.
No, that's even like, that's grandpa style.
Really?
Yeah, that's like Yankee Yak music.
How would they, I wonder how they like get permission to like, how do you?
Well, see, like back then, man, like everybody was stealing. Like the Rolling Stones, when they first hit the market, like they were, you know, the Beach Boys were stealing from some of those old black artists back in the day. You know, like note for note stealing stuff. But because they were just young white guys, you know, back then that was taboo. You know,
Right.
Because they were, but they were killer black artists. You know, back then.
Yeah, man.
And that's like why Elvis, you
Jackson
know,
Brown, baby.
yeah, and Elvis was so loved across everybody because, you know, he grew up in like a black neighborhood and stuff.
Yeah.
And but
Jackson Brown running on empty. Sometimes, man, I just want to drop what I'm doing, just take off running.
oh, one of my favorite artists in the entire world's a guy by the name of Robert Johnson, and they claim he's the father of the blues.
See, I like some good blues.
And then they also claim he's the first case of selling your soul to the devil.
Really?
Yeah, because his whole story, because he's got a song, and it's just real, it's so old, like even if you listen to it on like iTunes and stuff, you get the popping from the vinyl, you know, the Victrola,
Yeah.
you know, because there was nothing to do with it. There was no
You didn't have
digitally enhancing that.
Yeah.
And so, but I got hellhound on my bed. I mean, like played on like old Gibson G100 or something like that.
Yeah. Like CCR. I feel like CCR is one of those bands where it's like, I don't feel like they had any like add-on stuff. You know what I mean? I don't feel like somebody was sharpening his voice. I feel like that was natural.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what, like a lot of bands you hear them live, you're like, oh my God, I would pay $2 for a ticket. You know what I mean?
Like, biggest thing, man. Like, so I went and heard, like I said, Garth Brooks. Same as he sounds on a flipping album.
Mm-hmm. That goes a long way.
Man, I would spend $300. Elton John, I wanted to go to this farewell tour, and me and Daniel talked about it, and I was like, man, you know, I'll be super nice this year. Buy me and Daniel tickets. I got on the internet, like nosebleeds were like $600.
Oh, wow.
I said, I love you, Daniel, but man, you ain't going to see him because
well, you got
$1,200.
Back in the day, technology has like learned so much shit, dude. Because think about like, okay, I can get on an app on my phone. I can download every song I want for free. Yeah. You don't have those CDs anymore. Mm-hmm. You don't have all that. So I understand like the markup on the prices of tickets. Yeah. You know, it's like.
But see, I'm a sucker, man. So like, I collect vinyl. Like my bedroom wall has a ton of vinyl, and so like I was like, man, I really want to do a vinyl. And I was like, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna do one for me, one for my brother, one for my lead, one for my drummer, one for my folks, you know. And I was like, I'll just do just a couple of them for us.
Right.
And then I got on there, I was like, man, so I do 10 a year, 10 a year. And so I just wound up buying like 20 of them. Mm-hmm. And like I said, man, sold all of them within like a day of saying, I've got vinyls on the way.
Oh yeah.
But I collect that. And
see,
like,
I love memory pieces.
Yeah, and CDs, man, people, I get, you buy a vehicle now, don't even have a CD player in it. Mm-hmm. You have to request one.
Yeah.
And but I'm not that way, man. Like I still burn CD if I want to.
That's what I bought that computer for originally.
To burn CDs.
Yeah.
But I just, an artist already isn't making a whole lot of money off streams.
Right. That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, I've got over like 200,000 streams on all of my stuff, so that's not massive.
Right. But you think 200,000?
Yeah.
That's
but that's a lot for me being small time like I am.
Yeah.
But 200,000 is what a entry artist that's like selling tickets to shows,
Yeah.
they want to hit that, man, in a week or a day. You know, like they're hitting 200,000, you know, and it's taking me like 2 years. Well, that's 100,000 a year. So in my book, man, I'm killing.
Yeah, that's good.
You know,
yeah.
why did anybody want to listen to what I got to say in the first place?
Right, yeah.
You know,
but see, me, I like, that's one reason why I really want to do podcasts. I like people's stories. I was telling you that before me and you started. I said, I like to hear people's stories, you know? And I think it was Clint Eastwood one time, you know, I may not ever be a famous podcast. I'm not getting paid for this, you know, whatever. But it's like, even if my dreams don't come true, I'm still glad I had them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? You know what I mean? It's like, if you can make a living doing what you love, I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's awesome.
Well, I dig deep into the lives of Jesse Priest, man. So I played when I was 12 and told my parents from then on, I said, I'm going to be famous. So 12, 13, 14, I wrote my first song. And my mom's like, it's pretty deep for a 14-year-old like to write what you wrote.
You gotta have that imagination too.
Yeah, I don't know. I wrote a song about a girl. It was called Small Town Queen. I've never released this song either. Only OGs would know about it. You know. I plan on releasing it one day. It's just one of those.
You should, man.
I'm gonna tweak it, make it a little more nowadays me.
Was that over a girl?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it was over a girl. Yeah. You know, breaking your heart. And you know, mom's like, "What do you even know? You're 14, man."
My God.
You know, and I'm questioning myself
broken
now.
Hearts can happen at 9, dude.
I'm telling you. So, like 14, 15, 16, 17, man, I wrote all these songs. There's actually one on there called Sunny Days that I wrote when I was like 16 years old. And I finally released it. And then I wrote our graduating class song. It's called Goodbye. And I think it's on there. And then, I don't know, I just would write stuff. And then, of course, then college happens. So I was going to college for culinary arts.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a chef. And man, I've been a jack of all trades. I wanted to work on cars. Like, I was going to go to, what is that, UTI or whatever? In, North Carolina, South Carolina, the NASCAR Institute.
Yeah.
I wanted to go there because I wanted to work on NASCAR. I love old cars. I pulled up a Bronco.
Yeah, I love that Bronco too, dude.
I've got a 1967 Ford Fairlane right now that's in restoration process.
Oh, so you are like working on
yeah,
that
the guy did this motor. She's about ready to come out of.
That's awesome.
But so I love old cars. I love old music, and
that's what I think needs to come back.
I do.
I do. I mean,
and I think we're at a curve where that's going to happen because, like, that's just the way music needs to go.
Yeah.
Not so much processed BS, and you know, I could write a modern country song today before I left here tonight. If you want to write one about drinking beer and you know, yeah. I could write a Florida Georgia Line song in about 15 minutes. I don't see that being, you know, and I'm not knocking that. We all like that. Yeah. You know, we all like those songs too, but I also want a story, man. Like, you know, speaking of the Allman Brothers, one of my favorite songs is Soul Shine. You know, and they talk about when you can't find the light, it gets you through a cloudy day.
Right, yeah.
Like, I mean,
you can picture that, like you can paint that picture, like while you're hearing the song, you know. Yeah, that's what.
Well, you gotta let your soul shine. You know, it's better than moonshine. Damn sure better than rain. You know, like those lyrics, man, like that speaks to you. But then you got like Luke Combs and them, like he's wrote some amazing songs.
I love Luke Combs.
You know, but everybody just seems to go toward those. When it rains, it pours. You know, but I'm like, man, I like, you know, Dear Today. Like, have you ever heard that song?
No.
he's got a killer song called "Dear Today."
So you kind of, like, you buy a CD or you download like somebody's album or whatever, you like really, you dig into even the songs that's not popular.
Oh yeah,
And that might mean more to you than Tennessee Whiskey, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Oh,
'cause he might
Chris
rely on
Stapleton,
live
man.
event or something.
he's got a
Yeah.
song out called "A Simple Song,"
Mhm.
and God, dude, that song's flipping amazing.
See, and they just take like, what is that, the Broken Arrow, they take Tennessee Whiskey, they run all that stuff in the ground, but they don't really give the whole album a try.
No,
They
I
don't, a
feel
lot
that
of,
way.
I don't either. I feel like when that thing gets to like a radio show or whatever, they pull that thing out, they're like, Jesse Priest, let's just see, let's listen. Oh man, we really like this one song.
Yeah, we're gonna put that in.
And that's it.
That's
You know what
it.
I mean? Like,
But
yeah.
that's what I try to do is I try to give people homework at shows. I'm like, you're gonna do homework tonight. This is a Chris Stapleton song. You need to go
Swear to God, you'll
down.
be in detention.
But I mean, it's just, I don't know. You're even in the media world, you're force fed what the news is showing you. You're force fed what the radio's playing you. You are a walking, talking, self-conscious, self-aware entity in yourself.
Right.
Like every human is.
Yeah, and everybody's different.
So why be force-fed anything?
Right, yeah.
You know, if I want to know something that's going on in the world politically, I'm going to dig deep.
Right, yeah.
I'm going to go down rabbit holes. You know, I don't want what the news is just telling me. With an artist, I don't want to know. I hear what they put on the radio, and I understand that's making you tons of money.
Right, yeah.
But when you find a song on an album and you can tell, like, well, I can tell that, like, okay, they wrote this one as they think it was going to be a banger, but this is a damn storytelling song, like.
I'd rather the storytelling.
You know what I'm
myself,
saying?
yeah.
Like that song, like I was saying, you know, everybody's like, "Oh, Tennessee Whiskey." Well, I don't know if a lot of people's ever heard of a simple song. That's the name of it, A Simple Song, and
That you remind me, dude.
it's killer.
It was a long time. Like it was forever with Leonard Skinner before I ever heard All I Can Do Is Write About It.
Oh yeah,
And it was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, you know, it's like my favorite Skinner song now.
have you ever heard the song "Four Walls of Wayford"? Rayford.
No. I want to look that one up too.
It is a sad song.
Really?
Yeah, it talks about a guy being from the Vietnam War, and it's a killer song.
Yeah, see, I need
It's
to
a
check
groovy little tune, you know, but everybody knows. Well, Alabama, simple man, give me 3 steps, needle and spoon.
that. Oh, yeah, I like the most popular ones. What's the, so let's just say you're out of everywhere you play, as far as a cover song, what's the number one request you get?
Tennessee whiskey.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's Tennessee whiskey, and then here recently, it's been You Should Probably Leave. So it's still Chris Stapleton.
Yeah.
And then
But we should try.
second is probably Sweet Home Alabama.
That was the one I was thinking.
That's a big one.
Well, especially being from Alabama, like you go to.
But like, normally I hit the nails on the head. Like, you know, people come up and request things, and some people come up and like try to test you.
See what you
Yeah,
know.
they're like, you know any Marty Robbins? I'm like, well, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Are you gonna play some? I'm like, yeah. What do you want here? You know?
How many songs you think you know?
Oh, man, I don't
See, that's what,
know.
with me.
All of them.
I know. See, me and you being music, like loving music, man. Classic rock. I bet, honest God, if I had a month to sit down, I could probably write 500
Yeah.
down, and it would be pretty close to the lyrics. You know what I mean? Like it, because I grew up listening to that Def Leppard.
Yeah.
You know, it would almost be like they would come in and be like, "Hey, man, all right, what'd you get?" And it's out. I'm holding this book like a Bible of all this stuff I wrote down, and all these lyrics. And then before they go out the door, it's like, Hey, hold on, I know a Doors song. Since I saw you go out that door, it just made me think. You know, our minds though, I mean, like, there's a lot of information you can hold, you know, like it's neat, dude.
That's what I tell most people. They're a lot of people come to me and they're like, "Hey man, I'm wanting to start doing what you're doing. So like, what do you got? You know, what do I need to do?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna tell you right now, I would know 75 songs.
Yeah.
That'll get you through a 4-hour set." And they're like,
That's
"Really?"
4 hours.
And I'm like, "Actually, I'm gonna tell you 75, 74. You're only gonna really need to know 50 something to get you through, because you're gonna take breaks. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that." Because people have asked me all the time, they're like, "How many songs do you do a night?" And I'm like, "I don't know, 70, 80. They're like, "There's no way. There ain't enough time." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm going into one after another.
Right, yeah.
And I don't take a break except, like I said, put a pinch of snuff in or throw one out. You know, maybe get a drink of beer or whatever." Like, you know, I don't normally leave a stage, and that, you know, that's a lot of time. I kind of feel bad about it because I'm like, you know, some people, you know, want to talk to you and stuff, and I hate making them feel like they have to come up to the stage and just talk or something. So here recently, I'll take a break.
I would.
And I'll go fraternize.
Yeah, I would.
You know, talk around with folks. I've been doing that a little bit more and more because I want people to, you know, I want to be a people person.
Right.
You know, I want to relate to people and those type of things. So.
Well, that's what even, you know, me contacting you or whatever, you know, I contact you on Messenger. I'm like, I know I'd asked you, would you come on the podcast at some point? And you were like, yeah, it's like in a few weeks, maybe. Now it's like, you know what? I want to bring him on now.
Oh yeah, no, I don't mind it.
You know, all right, we're getting close to the end. What song has like really, like if you had a jukebox and you was only gonna play one song, but it could be anything you wanted to play, what song would it be? I mean, like what songs meant more to you than anything? It could even be your own.
Oh, so anything.
See, Don't Stop Believing by Journey would be mine.
Would be your.
Yes, every
you
time
can listen to that on repeat.
Good. I could drive from here to damn Los Angeles, California tonight, and I could put that song on repeat until I'm hoarse, but I'll still live. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I'm with it, man. I don't know. That's a toughie. That's a big question.
The kids though, like my kids, we'll be riding down the road. Don't Stop Believing comes on. Luke Kate, ever since she was able to speak, she'd say, "That daddy favorite song." You know what I mean? Like that song I've just always loved.
That's a good song. And I think one of mine, honestly, there's going to be between two.
All right, let's go.
Flirting with Disaster.
Oh yeah, my action.
I will put the pedal to the metal, and I would drive to hell and back listening to that song because it's just so good.
I like it. I like my action.
You know, that's just one of those. But one of my favorites in the entire world, like out of anything, and Daniel, if you're listening, you're gonna hate this. He is not a fan of me, but
shove it, Daniel.
God, what is it? I'm trying to think now. I went blank on the name. I would do anything for love.
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
Yeah. But what would he do? He never says that.
I know, right?
I mean, it just leaves you with like this. What would you do? Anything?
But just because,
what would you not do?
I love that whole part of it. I would do.
Oh man, I know that.
But then the end when what's her name comes in, will you get me out of this godforsaken town? You know, like I love that part, and it's just that whole rock opera kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
like you know.
Honest to God, me and you was talking about this earlier too. Objects in the rearview mirror, and they appear closer than they are. I can like imagine the way he describes his dad, and I've got a good dad and all that. I'm just talking about like when he says he was dangerous and drunk and defeated and corroded by failure and envy and hate. I'm like, dude, where did you come up with that? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's describing, you know, he does like the seasons. winter times when his dad's whooping him, whatever, and his buddy gets killed in the summertime. Come around spring, he's meeting this girl.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's one of my top played shower songs, I guess. I'll holler, I can't say her name because I got one in here, but I'll holler for her to play it, Yeah, Alexa. But anyway, so it's like, and she'll play that song, and then I know I've been in the shower for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, that's, another one would be Paradise by the Dashboard Lights.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And that, like, his songs were so sexual in a sense.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all of them, but like, he never just came out and said that.
No, he didn't. It's like,
but you know what Paradise by the Dashboard Lights, we know what that's talking about.
Parking, ain't they?
Yeah. I've seen paradise by the dashboard light. And that's my other favorite thing with old cars. New vehicles, they got that whole bright, just overwhelming. You got a damn Nintendo screen in the middle, 19 TVs in the back. My Bronco, dude, she's got that soft green tint across the dash. Only thing new inside is a Bluetooth Kenwood I purchased.
But see, I like vehicles, and like my dad has this old truck. I told him, I said, we just need to hop in that thing, just go ride around. I'm gonna put the window down. You know what I mean? It's like, and I never drive my window down in my truck. But it's like, I want to put these windows down. Let's go hit some back roads.
I do, man. That Bronco, I'll take the top off, I roll my window down, and like I'm grabbing on, I got those big side.
Do you have the
metal triangles on the side?
Oh, where you can like
hold on to that.
You can move that thing around too, where it's like it's like Earth's air conditioner.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, I mean
but it takes you back, like I'll even, I was dicking around the other day and I was like, man, what was the #1 song in 1989? I bet this Bronco heard it a few times.
Oh, I guarantee you.
So like, I don't know. I can't even remember what it was.
Thriller, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Thriller. I forgot. It was a hair metal song. And so I put it on and I was going to my buddy Daniel's house.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to drive over to Daniel's blaring a song from 1989 in a 1989 Ford Bronco.
Those old songs though, man, that's way better. That's what the stuff you're doing, dude. It's like, your music's so much better to me than what's out there now. I promise you. I would put you in there with Stapleton. I put you in there with, Luke Combs, that kind of stuff. It's like, I want to sing something, you enjoy it, like I want, you know what I mean? I want a little guitar solo in there.
That's what I want.
Right, yeah, I want people to hear the drum, bass.
And get that B Hammond organ in the back.
There you go. Yeah, see, I like stuff like that, dude, and that's what you're gonna go big. You're gonna do it, man.
I appreciate it.
You're looking for sponsors. You got.
Oh yeah, looking for sponsors. If anybody's out there willing to be an investor in my music career, hit me up. We're looking for a small amount compared to what they were asking.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll get all kinds of goodies, names on the albums.
There you go. Yeah.
Free show, free tickets to shows, all of it.
I will have this album you gave me till I die. I'm a sentimental person. I'll promise you. Like it's kind of funny. I can go buy something, spend $1,000 on or something, and I'm more prone to sell that for $200 than I am to sell this for $1,000.
I'm the same way.
That's what I like. I'm a sentimental. I like hearing people's stories, and dude, I appreciate you coming on. And
thank you for
Jesse Priest Music.
Yes, sir.
And that's JESSEPRIEST Music. Facebook.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that.
Search him up. No kidding. I promise you, you're gonna like it. And the Southern Land. That's the name of that song, right?
Coming back around.
Coming back around. I always think about the Southern Land, man. I mean, that was awesome. It's a good song. So, but I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I'm gonna have you back, dude.
Yeah, let's do it.
If I can get you back.
Oh yeah.
I have a feeling I'm gonna be like in between your tour dates.
Yeah, can you come back?
Yeah. So, all right. Good night, everybody. That was a good one, dude.
Well, yeah.
Man, and I kind of glanced at it a couple times and I almost just went
yeah,
and threw it.